The question for both of you, 50 first, why this project? Why now?
Well, we waited until after the results of the trial to release the project, but I started like almost 5 months before I was able to find Alex, and finding an Emmy Award-winning showrunner and director is detrimental to the project being really well put together. So, you know, they should expect it to perform like Reggie Jackson did.
Thank you. Yeah, I think why it's coming out now is we wanted to wait, to get through all of the legal proceedings, the criminal trial, and it spans, it's, 4 parts, and it spans over 30 years of, pop culture, his life. So it took some time, to say the least, to put all of this.
50 Cent is dominating headlines once again, but this time it reaches far beyond entertainment drama. His documentary has sparked a wave of serious allegations surrounding Diddy, drawing intense attention from both fans and industry insiders. More notably, 50 maintains that what the public has seen so far may only be a partial picture. He suggests that key details were left out, and that if those elements ever emerge, they could significantly reshape how the situation is understood and impact the broader music industry. One thing is clear: the story is still unfolding, and whatever comes next could have far-reaching consequences. Diddy's need for control.
Now, I just want to say this. People are talking about how, 50's attacking him and he's being petty. Now, keep in mind, out of all the women in the world that Diddy could have gotten with, he chose 50 Cent's baby mother.
It's a lot of variables to this particular question. Because I talk to a lot of people, older, younger, even my daughter, who's 22, she didn't understand it. So people give their opinion based on what they've experienced and their environment, people they've been around. So to the people that understand boundaries and respect, I always tell men you should never date another man's girl if you're not aware of it. If you know it, then it's wrong. But if you're aware of it, it's like basketball players that we talked about this before. Football players who date the same women.
Yeah.
And won't go outside the box.
Yeah, and I've never done that.
I've never
in
done
my
it.
life, I can honestly say at 52 years old, I have never dated some friend of mine.
Right. I've never done
Sometimes
that.
I found out a girl that I'm messing with that also messed with this other dude that I know in the industry, whatever. That's a little different after the fact. But I would never go into it if that's was his girl.
It's really the wrong thing to do. I've been presented in my lifetime. Women have come to me and they'll say, oh, my ex-husband, or my husband that passed. And when I was in my 30s, I leaped and did it. Because I said, if I died and was in a relationship and my baby mom was fine, ain't nobody gonna think of me. They're gonna date the person. So this is just some real shit. As I sit here today, knowing that there's an ocean full of women.
Billions. There are billions of women.
Billions.
Right. And that's the whole thing about Diddy. Diddy's not some nerdy dude who just happened to find some IG model and, oh my God, this is the girl of my dreams. Man, he has access to women all around the planet.
And that's his reputation.
But he went after the baby mother of one of his rivals.
Exactly.
Someone who had been taking shots at him for years.
Absolutely.
On purpose.
And he went after her knowing that they had beef.
Right. And slutted her out.
Just
slutted her out. Having a whole basketball team run a train on her.
I
That's
totally
the whole
agree.
thing, right?
Totally agree.
Right.
But his reputation from when he worked at Uptown, I'll be sure's girlfriend.
Oh, Kim Porter. Right.
That's his reputation.
I'll be sure his baby mother.
Baby mama.
Yeah.
Then Eric Serum, his friend, the one that had his baby, Mia. So he's had a reputation of going after people.
Tupac's ex-girlfriend. He got a baby with her too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my point that I'm making to the men listening, well, if you don't understand this, then you just poorly educated and don't really have common sense. It's a no-no.
The documentary had to be downsized. You understand? I don't really believe that, because a documentary is a documentary, and they could have had 45 minutes. They could have had an hour, to each one of those. You understand? They left out certain things. He said they even left out the one about Sarah Chapman. You understand? And for whatever reason, he probably left out a lot of other different stars too. Situations that they could have spoke about. You understand? I have a problem with the documentary, and I'm just gonna let you know that the reason I have a problem with the documentary is that they know that they took my idea. You understand? They know that when I came to them, I laid out what they should do and how the documentary should be. You understand? She could say whatever she want to say. I talked to those producers before I even talked to her. They wanted to know what I had, what I was bringing, my pictures, all that stuff like that. And I told them about me, Tim, and Kirk. You understand what I'm saying? And how it would go. They did the same thing. This ain't the first time they stole from me, man. If you look at the Notorious Big, if you watch the Notorious Big, that part about the shoes, I had that in my book. And I was talking to K.O. Copeland. He was one of the writers of that movie. And I told him about when I let Big use my shoes at Soul Train Award. You had this old flunky ass dude, Mike B, get on Angie Martinez's show and talk about, yo, Big, he wore mixed max shoes and he went out there and performed. When you go look at the film, when you go look at Big performing that on that show, ain't nothing mixed match about them shoes. There was $800 Maury's, size 14D, Big World 14E. E means that his shoes is a little wider than mine. He struggled, but he put them on and he went out there and performed. Those, you understand? They did a little skit trying to disrespect me in the movie, you understand? And they said something about, oh, we got this shit from Big Sexy. He knew they called me Big Sexy, you understand, because I used to play ball with them at the Reebok on Columbus Avenue on Saturday morning. And on my arm, it had Big Sexy. Right there, Mighty. That was my pen name for Felon Magazine. People didn't notice I used to write for Felon Magazine. You understand? And because I was a parole officer writing for Felon Magazine, I named myself Big Sexy. You understand? So now, they go and steal my ideal and what I was writing in my book on the Notorious. Now they did this on this doc. That's what they do, bruh. They don't care, bruh. They did the same thing on the BMF things to my man who just did a book. His name is Alexander Newell out there in Detroit. They call him KK. Him and the brothers used to run around on the west side in the Brewster Project. They from the Brewster Projects. Him and his brother, what's Alex's brother name? Dangerous. They got him played in the movie as the name Dog in that BMF movie. Alex's brother name is Lawrence. I think it's Lawrence. Dangerous. Wasn't playing. When they got him up in the video, going into the game on the BMF thing and killing somebody in front of everybody in the basketball thing, he was that type of dude. Alex used to come to Harlem to see me. He actually took me to him, my man Kevin Thigpen. We all went to Atlantic City. We had a time. Alex was the man. You know what I'm saying? So now they take his story, all the stuff they just switch around, change it for the BMF thing. That's what they do, bro. They caught me out there. Am I mad at him? I said, everybody, and you hear a guy, yo, why 50 didn't, fight for you to in the movie and the whole thing. Man, he don't supposed to fuck up his money for me. Why should he mess up his money for me? Nah, that was my fault. I shouldn't have told him shit. Or I should have had them sign something. If you do the documentary in this way, you owe me. Because it was my idea. They can't tell me they had that idea because they didn't know they had Tim. They didn't know they had Kirk. You understand what I'm saying? They didn't know that. Because they came to me first. So, that's what they do, bruh. That documentary, and if 50 do another one, and I heard he's gonna put it on YouTube or do whatever he's gonna do, Puff ain't gonna have nothing to do with that. Puff ain't gonna have nothing to do to try to stop that because he can't. Because if he could stop it, it would have been stopped. You know why he can't stop it? Because Puff know people right there at Netflix. Don't think he don't. And I don't know if this guy still work for them, but he was part of the flavor unit, Shakim. He was part of the flavor unit. He was good friends and he was cool with Puff and them. Flavor unit and them, Queen Latifah and them, they was cool with Puff. If Puff would have sent the cease and desist over there and they could do it and he had the power and they wasn't right, they would have been done it. You see it's still rolling, right? It's still going on, right? He ain't got that power no